Hello YouTubers and everyone else in the world. It's Donny Walker here. I'm in Whiskey Creek, BC, just by Coombs and close to Port Alberni, where the goats are on the roof. I'm here with my friend Dave Cheshire today at his firewood zone here. And I got this beautiful 056 Magnum 2. A friend of mine, Ron Hunter, sent me from Saskatchewan. It's barely probably cut a cord of wood. I worked on these saws in my first logging camp job, I told you before, in Sabellis, and then we switched to 066s after. So that was in the late 80s, early 90s, we switched over. So I just want to show you something on the startup on it and the tuning of the carburetor. Right now it's tuned pretty decent to the factory settings. 1 on the low, 1 1/4 on the high. Just remember your low speed one's always the closest one to the engine. The high speed one's the farthest one. And your idle's obviously your third one, which is normally marked T on some saws. So I'm gonna start this up and I'm gonna show you how I turn the low speed in and hear it speed up. Then I turn it back till it's idling properly. And that's how I usually set the low speed. And then when it's idling, just making sure the chain's not turning obviously right, okay? Then I'm gonna run it and I'm gonna show you on the high speed how it is on the rich sounding, or the 4-stroke sound I call it. Some people call it 4-stroking, some people call it missing. I call it 4-stroking. Also think of your low and high speed as like cold and hot in your house. You add more cold, to get the thing going, and you add the hot. So just think of that, getting them balanced just right. Okay, so I'm gonna start it up. I'm gonna mess with the carburetor a little bit. Then I'm gonna do a cut with it to show you how it works. I'm running a 24-inch stihl mount bar on here, a 50 gauge with Stihl's, I think it's called 33 RS or something. It's full house, pre-ground chisel chain. So here we go. I'm going to start it up. You just listen to the sound, okay? Hopefully you could hear that after I started up, how I turned the low in. You could hear it speeding up and almost die out. Then I turned it out so it was just idling almost right, but I did have to adjust idle at the end. Then you hear me hold it full open. You can hear it 4-stroking or running rich. So I turned it in a 1/4 turn. So now the high speed's at 1 turn. Factory says 1 1/4. To me, it sounds fine. It pulled good in the wood, and then I had to readjust idle just a tad at the end there. So that's your basic settings on a stihl like this. Every saw is a little bit different on some series of carburetors, but this thing's super smooth on the hands. Just a good, well-built saws. The only really problems I ever had in them in logging camps was the switch wires and some of the plug wires would get wore through a bit and then would arc out. So that was about the only problems. And some clutch springs, just normal consumables, right? And on the top, I used to put a leather flap over the top of the spark plug because you'd get a hole in them like this. And guys like followers, friends of mine, like Dave Adden and a bunch of the other guys that worked in Sabellis, they'd get these up against their stomach when they're falling. They would start shocking them, man. 20,000 volts going through your body. That's not a good thing. So those guys with those big bellies, I'd put that leather over top, and that would stop them from sparking out on them. But when we switched to 066s, we never had that problem. So there you go, man. There's a good old 056 from the 80s. Can't remember exactly which year this one was made, but you could go on the Mike Akers Chainsaw Collector's corner and pull up still and look up the 056, and it'll tell you. This is the 056 AV Magnum 2. Great saw, man. Thank you very much, Ron, for sending it to me. I'll take care of it just fine and just use it once in a while just for nostalgia cuts. Yeah, thanks a lot. And yeah, it goes great with a 24-inch bar, eh? So hey, keep sawing the wood, sticking nice rubber in the road. Sawing the wood, of course, like I just said. Have a great day. It's a beautiful day here today. Snow up in the mountains just starting now in the last couple days. Aerosmith, a couple of the mountains behind me here. But yeah, now I'm going to run an old Husky. See if I can link these two videos together or show you one of the first production-made Husqvarnas. Okay, from 1956. So see how that goes right now. Have a great day.